Good morning, everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads. Can you let me know? Can you see my screen? And can you hear me? If you could put it in the comments panel, we'll get started here in just a minute. So there's a comment chat thing somewhere. You can put your questions there, but you can also just let me know that you can hear me. And also, if you don't mind, let me know if, yes, thank you, John. If I start to sound choppy or the audio goes out, let me know, because sometimes my video gets a little bit weird. But the video takes up the bandwidth so that my voice gets. Okay, thanks, Tom. So good morning, everybody. It's Monday, and this is our top tool for more listings class, right? And it's an exciting time. It's the beginning of 2026. We have some really powerful systems that are going to help you get more listings. And we have the receipts to prove it. So I'm really excited. So before we get into it, I see people logging in now. Thank you, Tyler. To tell you that, one, you don't need listings to get listings. If you have listings, we definitely have some tools to help you multiply those into more listings. But whether you have them or you don't, we've got ways to help you get listings. And that's what the point of this call is, okay? So I'm going to be a little bit repetitive because I want you to understand what you need to be thinking about to get more listings in 2026. Okay. 1 is our listing presentation. 2 is expired marketing. 3 is open house marketing. And 4 is Facebook ad. Like, these are the first 4 things to do with them. And there are other tools, there are other things to do, but those are like the first 4 that you need to completely be using consistently in 2026. Now, probably the most exciting thing that's been happening since the last quarter of last year is expired marketing coming online. And this doesn't work for everybody. In the southern state, there's a lot of expireds. In New England part of the country, there aren't as many expireds. In Canada, there are expireds, but you can't actually reach out to them. Because, okay, so I keep freezing up. So I am going to take off my picture here. Thank you, Christine. So let me know if everybody can hear me okay. So in Canada, you actually have to be very careful of how you're reaching out to expireds. And I think in Texas, they have a new law that you definitely have to be careful or you're going to start getting. All that being said, for a lot of you, expireds are going to be the number one way of getting listings. So let's look at the website. I don't know if you've looked at our website before. I want to tell you a couple of stories before we get into the how-to. If you email me, and I'm going to send everybody my email right now. It's vince@listings2leads.com. If you need a team account, I'm the guy to talk to. If you want my email on expired marketing, just say I would like that. And if you want my email on open house marketing, which will again tell you how to get more listings, you can say that too. But in that email for expired marketing, I have 3 videos from these 3 people: John Summers, JJ, and Scott. Okay, Scott Murray. They are all working expireds, all in a different way. Okay, they all do it differently. JJ calls people, and then they don't respond. And then she texts them and says, would you like to see my listing presentation? They still don't respond. And she creates a custom listing presentation and texts it to them. And she has 4 listings in 6 weeks. They respond on that. Okay. And that's why I said our listing presentation, you need to get your arms around. Now, this gentleman here, Scott, he's been in the business for 20 years and he is really comfortable door knocking. There are expireds in his market. So he has ordered, oh, you can't see it, but we actually have a print. Oh, let me see if I can make myself visible here real quickly. We have a printable listing presentation. If you can see it right here, it's branded to you on every page. And frankly, it's awesome. Okay. And that's why I said you need to get involved with that. He door knocks, and in 3 days, Scott added 2.7 million to his pipeline in 3 days of door knocking. Okay. I want to tell you this story. And we're going to get into the details here, but let's just have a little story so that you understand why. Now, if you email me for my expired email, you're going to see a video from this guy here, John Summers, on top. And we recorded that in November. Okay. That email, the video in my email is from November. And he was very excited because he just started working with our expireds in, I think, late October, November. He likes to make a voicemail. He leaves a voicemail. It's in the email that I have. It's in the video that I have. And it's very non-salesy. But there's a whole strategy of the timing of when to reach out to these. And he does that. And people say, yes, I would like to meet you. And he brings a listing presentation that I just showed you, which is branded to him. And he drops it off and he is winning listing. And in that call that we recorded in November, he said, it's my goal. He just says this to me and Scott. It's my goal to get 10 of these presentations, these printed pamphlets, into my market every week. Okay, so that was November. And the video that you're looking at right there with him talking right now, he says in January, in the first 2 weeks of 2.2 million in signed litter for not even 2 years. So he's figured it out. This young lady down here, JJ, has been out of high school for 3 years and a realtor for maybe a year and a half. Now, Scott here is a big 20-year veteran. So the expires is a big deal. If you scroll down our page, you will see Brian Mathewson, who owns a LPT office, who runs a sold ad on Facebook. The lead costs him $4. It turns into a $400,000 listing and a $450,000 purchase. And then down here, the listing presentation, just to give you a story, I mentioned at the beginning of the call, expired open houses and our listing presentation in Facebook. It's all actually right here on our homepage. This is running a sold ad. He's getting listing lead, right? And turning them into business. This lady here, she was a Terry Ann, has been in the Coast Guard for 20 years, retired, moved to Florida, got her license, didn't do anything for the first year. And in the first month gets like a seller lead from her neighborhood and comes to us. And we create a listing presentation for her, a custom one in 1 day. And if you want that custom listing presentation, email me for that, because I have a 4-minute video showing you how to create that. Okay. And that closed it in 1 day. She signed up with us. The very next day she has a meeting. She closes that listing presentation. How much does she really know about real estate when she's been in the Coast Guard for 20 years? The point is, we make it very easy for you to close businesses. And this lady right here will tell you, she runs a $35 ad on her open house and gets 3 active buyers and 1 listing, right? That's not actually why open houses are so important to getting listings. I'm going to show you why it's important in just a minute. Joanne has a question, and let me know. You've ordered books. You need to order more. Joanne, let me help you right here. So hold on. This page right here, I'm going to send to everybody. Joanne is asking me a question. How do I order more? I'm sending everybody a link right now. It's on our YouTube. It's on our homepage. If you go to our blog section, it says 2026 expired seller lead pipeline. Our live training is right here. Everybody, if you want more listings, you want to get on these live classes. If you want to order the books, you want to go right here and order the books. Okay. And I think we're missing something here. So you order the setup, which is, I think, about $69. Here's the cover letter. So you want to have this kind of in your packet here. And then you can order 10, 20, or 30 copies, right? And as a reminder, this guy here, John Summers, says, I'm getting 10 into my market. This is going to be valuable for you, but that is a big deal. So just as a reminder, that's the intro. No, I got another intro part to the intro. So this is our YouTube channel. Okay. And Scott and I do classes every day, 5 days a week. This lady here, Gwen, is in our expired group. She's in there fairly frequently. And I can tell you, she signed up in September. I had a few phone calls with her when she signed up, and and she didn't get it. She didn't get what we were doing. Sometimes you just need help to get through it. And I kept telling her, get in the expired class, get in the expired class. And I would go in there, I'd see her asking funny questions. I could just tell for at least 4 to 6 weeks, she was not grasping the concept. This video right here, she sent us in our Expire group. We actually have a private group. I'm not going to send this to you because you do have to be a client to be in here. So ask the support team for you for this. But Gwen came in here when? January 11th, and says this.
Oh,
She's saying she has 3 listings and 2 buyers. It's from our expireds and our listing presentation. And she's finally figured out how to crack it. We got that message on January 11th, 15 days ago. Okay. So take your time, get in our classes, understand what is available to you if you're a client of Listings to Leads, and get in this group and get in our live training classes. All right. So as a repeat, what's most important for all of you to get more listings? 1, our listing presentation in all of its forms. 2, sold ads on Facebook. 3, expired marketing. 4, open house marketing. Okay. So let's kind of look at a couple things here before we dive into the system. This is the listing presentation that all of you have in your account right now. And we've actually had people copy this hyperlink. You see this web address and blast it through their own CRM on their old seller leads in their CRM. And they just write a couple of lines, right? They just say, hey, are you thinking of selling in 2026? And if so, I have a really great way of selling homes. Click here. And they click on that link and boom, they're looking at our online flip book presentation of our listing presentation. This is rock solid. I'm talking to a team in Southern California. They have 10,000 seller leads. And they've been trying to get them to respond. No response. And come back because I've had a couple calls with them. I said, get this and send them to the oldest non-responsive leads with a very basic, don't write a big novel, get them to click this link. And then I said, cherry pick your hottest ones, the ones that you really want, and go create a unique. So notice this says complete marketing plan to get your home sold. That's the generic one that everybody has in their account. But you can also create a custom one for either a FSBO, a canceled or expired, or just a straight seller lead. And you can see this one says complete marketing plan for your expired home. So you can, and I said, create a unique one. So notice the difference. It looks the same, but it's actually the homeowner's name on the cover and their address on the cover. And as you go through the presentation, it's their home on social media. It's their home on YouTube. It's their home in print. This is what, if we go look at our homepage, this is what this young lady is doing. She creates unique listing presentations for each of the homes that she wants to close. And that's how she has 4 listings in 6 weeks. She sends that to them in their text. They don't even respond to her phone calls or any of her texts until she sends this. Because now they're looking at their home and they're like, yeah, we want to meet you. And she says, okay, let's meet in a coffee shop. And then she brings our print listing presentation, which you can now order because you have a link to that. And that's it. That's how she closes 4 listings in 6 weeks. I'm really excited because that message, that video was again shot in November, right? And she told us then, I'm shooting for 20 listings by March. And I'm going to be so excited to get on another call with her in March and see what she has done. And I hope all of you are taking advantage of the same thing, right? If expireds are happening in your market, this is the platform to help you monetize it. Okay. So custom listing presentation, and that's it. I'm going to get these out of the way. The other thing I mentioned that you need to know about is our nearby homeowner letter. And the nearby homeowner letter, this is one for sold. So a lot of our clients will mail these out when they have something just listed or when they have something just sold, right? And you can see, hey, this home is just sold. Go check out the home here, scan it, go here. But that affects your home value, and go here to get your free home value. So many of our clients will mail this out either 100 or 200, and they mail it to people with equity. Okay. Leads by mailing out 100 or 200. Like, you're not getting 20 leads, right? If you run an ad on Facebook, you might get 5, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 leads. And they're fairly cheap and very little work, but the lead quality is not that high. If you mail out 100 of these, you might get 1 or 2 leads, and the lead quality is very high. Okay. So let's think about that. Right. Let's think about that, what I'm saying, which is, we've talked about Facebook ads will get you seller leads. We talked about nearby homeowner letters will get you leads. We talked about open house marketing will get you leads. And we talked about expireds will getting leads. So let's talk about lead quality. Okay. Because that's lead quality means how fast is it going to turn into business? The fastest lead conversion is going to happen with expireds, because they wanted to sell their home. It didn't sell for whatever reason. And so you want to work that. Okay. The other is going to be open houses, because you've taken the nearby homeowner letter and invited neighbors into the home. And we got all these tools to make you look like a rock star at the open house. Joanna's got a question. Where do we get that letter? We'll get there in just a second. So expireds and open houses, you are meeting people. And I'm sure you're all awesome and super nice to talk to. So those leads, that people you're meeting, they're going to convert faster. If you mail out a nearby homeowner letter, they may fill that out, right? They may fill that out. Then you got to get them into a conversation, and then you got to meet them and then get a signature. It's going to take you longer to convert this than an expired lead. Does that make sense? And then think about this. If you go running out on a sold property and they clicked on it, but they were just looking at cats and what their friends and family are doing, was that the highest quality lead? Maybe not. So occasionally, like on our website, this guy here runs a sold ad and has it converted into a meeting in one day. Okay. Now he's using text follow-up to start the initial conversation. And then by the afternoon, he's turned it into a phone call, right? But that doesn't happen with every lead. He consistently runs ads, but that doesn't happen with every lead. So the point that I'm trying to say is, your highest quality seller leads are going to come from expireds and from open houses. Now, you can also create those custom listing presentations for FSBOs. And FSBOs, a lot of agents don't even want to talk about expireds. And there are a whole nother subset of agents that don't even think about FSBOs. But if we're talking about how to get listings, that's something that you want to add to your business. So I have a list, and we actually have landing pages to help engage those people. Hey, would you like some free marketing tools? But once you've got that contact information, you can create a unique listing presentation, just like for the expireds. And it will have their home in there. Let them kind of market for a while. Let them go through being a realtor for a little while. And they're not going to like it. That's why FSBOs, on average, hand their listing off to an agent within 2 months here in the United States. Okay. So if you got tools to help them, or if you send this to them, they're going to realize, wow, you're much better at marketing than I am. Okay. So that is why FSBOs can be really important too. It's really all based on the listing presentation. So if you got seller leads in your CRM, I would be blasting them your generic flip presentation. Just copy the link right here and get it out. Okay. Copy the URL, which is the cover page to this, and hold this and write a very simple email and just say, because we just had a client do this last, I think November, December. He just said, made a simple email, thinking of selling in 2026. I have a really awesome way to do that. Click this link to see how. They click the link and they're clicking through this. He has 17 conversations from emailing 200 seller leads that were never really even talking to him. So this is something. Does it cost more to make the listing presentation customized? Christine, what I'm showing you here, that does not cost you anything. Okay. So let's cover that. And Joanna, I see your question. So Christine is saying she's a client and she wants to make that custom one. How do you do that? You go to listings over here on the left, the third tab. Okay. And there is a green button that says manual. You're going to do this manually. Okay. And when I do that, when we come here, it's usually just listed because that's when agents typically want to do that, right? Yeah, you're all clients, I believe you. Yeah. But you can ask questions even if you're not a client. But of course, we want questions from a client. So here I can make a listing presentation, or I can go down here and make it for a FSBO or expired or canceled. And it's all going to be the same. I'm going to do expired. And you put the homeowner's name here, and you put the address, and you add one photograph. That's it. Christine, this is part of your program. You don't have to do anything. Just name, address, all this stuff here, save photo, and you're good, and you will have a listing inside your account. It does take it takes about a minute or two to generate the flip book because I don't know, software just takes a couple minutes to do that. So kind of like we're watching this wheel spin, it takes about a minute or two, right? And you see I have one for a canceled. I have one for expired, for FSBO, and just a straight listing presentation. You have the generic one up here. Does that make sense, Chris? Along. Let's answer Joanna's question. Where do we get that letter? So the nearby homeowner letter is underneath every one of your listings. A lot of our clients mail this out when it's just listed. Nothing will get auto posted as long as you click. Yeah, Dawn is asking a question. We'll come back. Let's look at the nearby homeowner letter. This is a sold property. Okay. And Joanna was asking, where can I get this? So you click market listing. These are all the things we automatically do to market a home. But when you want more listings, this is the tool you want. It's called the nearby homeowner letter. There are 3 versions of the tool. They just look different, but they've got all of them have call to actions. I'm going to download the middle one. And I am going to, it is easy, Christine. Yeah, it is really easy. It's just, you got to know that it's there, right? That's the point of this class. And a lot of our clients will mail 100 or 200 of these out every time they have something just listed. And then they'll mail out again when it's sold. You can see this one says it's sold, go here and here. And when a home's sold, there will be call to actions and they will be offering a free home value. But the piece of paper says, hey, that affects your home value. This home is sold, that affects your home value. Go here. Okay. And go get your free home value. So realize what we're talking about. We're saying to 100 or 200 people. And the homeowner has to open their email, open that envelope, get to this piece of paper, type in that address, then give you their address and email. That is a high quality lead. That's somebody who is really thinking about selling their home. You want to be working on those leads. Okay. Not many people are going to do that. That's a known fact. We know that, right? We're going to do that. So that's a sold home. Let's go look at this one. I have another property over here that actually has an open house. Okay. Now, I've mentioned already that open houses are a top way of getting more listings, even if you borrow an open house. So the thing I want all of you to be doing, if you want more listings, is to talk to your office and make sure you are running at least 2 open houses every week. You go here, you click grab listing, you drop in the zip code and the MLS ID, you say, oh, it's not my listing, so you don't make a YouTube video. And we create all of these tools for you. Okay. And then you click market listing. And of course, you got an open house. So you want to run a Facebook ad. You want to use our open house sign-in form, right? You'll look really slick and digital there, right? That'll be cool. But if you want to use that open house to get more listings, you want to go here to the nearby homeowner letter, because this nearby homeowner letter has the open house date and time built in. Joanne, are you seeing this? You can borrow a sold listing too. A lot of our clients borrow sold listings, especially if there's like a farm market that they want to develop, but they don't have their own listings in it. They go to their office and say, hey, who sold an office in my neighborhood or wherever I'm trying to do that? Any email templates for mass emailing? Yeah. Yes, George, great question. And yes, I will tackle that in just a minute. Put that one up there. That's a good question, George. Don't let me forget. So I think I've got it visible. Let's see it. This is the nearby homeowner letter. Let's see if this is the right one. You see the open house here, right? Open house this Saturday, 1 to 4. So when you're holding an open house, you want, does the sold listing need to be an L to L? Yes, it needs to be an L to have all these tools. Okay. So yeah, all these tools are only created if the listing is inside of our platform. So our clients, when they're holding an open house, they are printing 50 or 100 of these and door knocking and letting the neighbors come in. If you go look, if you're watching your emails from us, we just did a case study with Tamara Loban. And Tamara is a broker owner. And I signed her office, and she's been applying open house marketing, our listing presentation, our expired. And she told us in that call, we did a call with her, and the case study is about her, that she's having more conversations with homeowners than ever before. And that's because, by the way, this is the open house sign-in form, and it uses that open. But this is an open house here. And what she does is she prints out 50 of these and walks the neighborhood. She's having chats with them, and she's saying, hey, come into my open house. I'm having it this weekend down the road. But remember that they can actually get their home value right there. Okay. And this is a big point. I want to point this out. I didn't mention it earlier, but we auto embed this instant home value page on all of your accounts. Now, I don't know, where are you guys? What city, state are you in? Does that background picture look like your market? Because if it doesn't, we'll go over there and see how we can update that so that looks like your market. That's actually really important because you're asking people to give you their address and contact information. And if that looks like a generic spam campaign, it's not going to work very well for you. So we want to make sure we customize that. Anyway, it's the nearby homeowner letter that is inviting into the home, right? Now, there are other tools. I'm going to show you one, but I actually have an email. I actually have an email on open house marketing. And if you want it, you've got my email, Vincent Listings to Leads. Hit me up and just say, I'd like your expired email. I'd like your open house marketing email. I'm going to send you all of them, including how to create that custom listing presentation that I just showed you how to. So that you have those all in your email and you're not like wandering around our system trying to figure out what's going on. You actually know how to execute with our platform. There's another important reason. Imagine, follow along. You have taken our nearby homeowner letter and invited 100 homeowners into your home. They're not all coming, right? Because they're not all thinking of selling. But the ones who are thinking of selling, they're going to come over just to see what's going on with this house because I'm thinking of selling my house, right? And there is a 5-minute commercial of our listing presentation, the one that you can order and print in a really high quality pamphlet. This is a commercial. It's not branded to us. It's not branded to you, but it tells people this is how I sell homes. So if that home is furnished with a smart TV, grab the remote, point YouTube to this, because this is sitting on YouTube already. And as you've invited homeowners and they're walking through, they're going to go, whoa, who is this person? They're doing all this stuff, right? And then you've got some other tools that are going to brand you and just make you look like a rock star. That is why in 2025, open house marketing was the #1 way of capturing listing, all until we launched the expired deal, right? But expireds are not for everyone because they're just not. Certain parts of the country have a lot of expireds and certain parts of the country don't, right? So if you don't have the opportunity for a lot of expireds, the next hottest opportunity is open house marketing. Again, you're meeting people. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit more about this nearby homeowner letter. Okay. Because this has been our top tool for more listings for many years, not in the volume of leads, but in the highest quality. Let's go over to our mastermind group and learn a little bit about that. So give me a second. I got to get to this is the expired group for sells and for expireds. And that's where everybody is trying to focus and get there. But this is our overall mastermind group here. And all of you should be in this, right? So if you're not in it, let me show you where that is. That is, give me a second, on marketing calendar on the very top. Give me a second. Waiting for things to happen. So this marketing calendar, it has like daily tasks, which are cool. You can do that, and that's going to be helpful. But up here, it says resources. This is where you get to our YouTube channel. Here's where you get to our private mastermind group. And here's where you get to leadgenwebinars.com, which is where you sign up for classes. If you're on Instagram, definitely follow us there. We have a lot of quick videos that show you how to use the platform. So super helpful, right? But on this page, that's this page. And this mastermind group is huge. This is where Scott and I talk about what's going on. You can sign up for the expired classes here. But also, there's a magnifying glass. So if you are thinking of getting more listings, and I think that's why everybody is here, George, don't let me forget about that email template. I see it again. After I show you this. So I want you all to see these names. Do you see this name? Pat Motley and Dustin Fox, Brian Mathewson. These guys are they kill it getting more listings. But let's focus on Pat right now. Pat is down in Louisiana. And I think she's been a client since 2010, like 15 years. Okay. And she came in the mastermind group a couple years ago and said this. She said, I always mail out 100 just listed nearby homeowner letters. And I also always mail out another 100 when I sell it. Okay. And boom, this is what she's doing. After she prints it, she uses Microsoft Publisher to print on the back. So the front of the paper looks like this. I'm going to sneeze. All right. And the back of the paper looks like this. Then she hand folds it and hand writes this. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can tell, like looking at this picture, there's print inside of this piece of paper. And she uses little moons to close it up, and she mails out. Why would Pat go through all this effort? She got 4 here on the first batch of 100 and another 4 calling her on this batch. That's the key. This letter, as you can see, is not a big, heavy read, right? We're not writing novels here because we know people can't read. You can look at this piece of paper and make a decision in less than 5 seconds. If you need your home value, you know what to do. Thank you. So that's what Pat is doing to get it opened. If you look in our expired group, our clients, they do simpler things. I think this is the very best way to get it. A handwritten envelope is going to get open. And now you know that it's not like a heavy lift. Open the piece of paper, make a decision. Do I want my home value? I'm going to go get that. But our other clients do it a little bit more simply. They get a nice, bright, colorful envelope so that it doesn't look like junk mail. Sorry, I'm trying to get there. By the way, here's Cindy Kipling. I got my first call back on the expired. I have to come back here because I'm getting stuck. Let's answer George's question. Okay. So George is saying, are there any email templates for mass mailing the marketing plan? And the answer is yes. Okay. So go to listings. There is a tab on the listings page that says listing presentation. It's right up on the top. Okay. When you click that, I've been talking about the flipbook presentation, right? The online magazine view, right? Frankly, George, I would be writing my own. One of the things I would do, because you're not going to email your leads one time, right? One of the things I would do probably once a month is write a very short 2 lines. Hey, are you thinking of selling? If so, click here and look at this. But that would be like what I would do, right? Maybe once a month. But you see here, it says eFlyer for your database. This is a more slick version, right? So cool. Download now. That's going to get you to a place where people can sign up and download that listing presentation. And it looks a lot cooler. But for me, I'm in the camp where if you make it distracting, I'm going to get distracted. And what do I need to look at here? I guess I need to go here, right? So this is great. It's a really cool tool. You can click up here and go copy. You can copy it for Follow Up Boss. You can copy it for your CRM. One, okay? You can also run an ad on Facebook to tell people, hey, do you want to see my listing presentation? This is a little bit of a shotgun approach. You don't, I don't want video ad views. I want lead ads so that when I change to lead ads, every lead comes with name, email, and phone number. And if somebody wants to download that, they can. But you're going to get a name and email and phone number first. So that's for Facebook, right? You can also run an ad on Google. And that is a really smart thing to do because people ask their questions on Google. But let me answer this a little bit different way. So George, that's just to market the listing presentation. Okay. But there are 40 PDF guides. Each of you have 40 PDF guides. Yeah, actually, each of you have 80 PDF guides, and 40 are for homeowners and 40 are for home sellers. So when I come here, when it comes to email, and I definitely recommend this because this is free, takes a few minutes of your time. But if you're sitting on hundreds or dozens or thousands of seller leads, you need to start using this part of our platform. So I clicked on seller PDF guide. So there are 40 here that are just for homeowners, right? And I'm going to take 12 mistakes to avoid. They all have the same thing. You click on marketing tools and you can see that there are multiple ways to market this one particular PDF guide. All right. You can run an ad on Facebook. Okay. Not bad. You could run an ad on Google. But George, to your question, if I click on eFlyer for my database, I've got a super slick email that I can copy right here and blast out on my seller leads in my CRM. That link and that link, you're going to take them to a place to download that as long as they give you your contact information. This link here is going to drive them to your home value page. Okay. And remember, I said, hey, does that look like your market? And I think Joanna says, no. Joanna, where are you? What part of the country? So let's tackle that. So George, you understand that, yes, there are emails on every one of your seller PDF guides. There is an email to market your listing presentation. There's even an email to market your sold listings. Okay. And that it with an email blast. Because I'll show you that in a minute. I'll show you that. Let's go over here to landing pages and let's talk about. Okay. Because everything we do. Yeah. So Flagstaff, a lot like desert to me. Yeah. Christine, good question. You're welcome, George. You're welcome. We'll tackle your question in a moment, Christine. Okay. So everybody, when you come to your landing page section, click the pencil here and remember, okay. And I don't know about you, but I'm not super comfortable putting my address and contact information anywhere unless it's like a straight up government site or I don't know, maybe my health insurance. Who wants to do that? I'm sure half of you don't, right? But yeah, so Gianna says she's got mountains and snow and pine. So if you start putting this in front of people, how successful is that going to be? So Joanna, and for all of you that have a different kind of geography, click background, click upload image, and get like a picture that's 1,500 or 2,000 pixels wide and upload it up here and make sure that looks like your area. Anybody knows, but whatever, make it for you, okay? That's super important because this page here, meaning this page here, is auto embedded in all your tools. All right. Now, you can also create custom landing pages. They're called Property Valuation Plus for all of your major farm markets, right? I have one here for Honolulu. I have one here for San Antonio. If San Antonio, there's just a beautiful river walk. This is a little bit touristy, right? So, like, I'll give you, there's a small town by me called Livermore, and it's close to the Bay Area. And we all know it because there's those like retail outlets like Saks Fifth Avenue and just a big outdoor mall, and just thousands of people go there, especially. And so when this client says, "Oh, I live in Livermore," I was like, "Oh, you should put a picture of that outlet." She's actually, we live out here because there's a lot of vineyards here and we have a few wineries. So she found this beautiful photograph of one of the wineries lit up for Christmas, right? It was gorgeous. And I was like, put that in there, right? I don't know if I have it here anywhere, but something that makes you think it's local, right? That you know my area is the point. And you just hit the pencil and you do that, right? Get rid of this. So update that. And if you want to create a landing page for instant home value, click create landing page and hit Property Valuation Plus, put in the name of your town, and then boom, click that green button and add a photograph. Okay. Because you might actually have 3 or 4 major farm markets where you're really trying to produce, right? Create that. Then you're going to have postcards, you're going to have emails, and you're going to be able to run ads for those people. So Christine asked a great question. Let me read it so that everybody understands. It says, "Hey, have you found that the AI response text has been helpful to qualify leads coming from these? I signed up for that last month. Some leads are opting out quickly, but at least I won't." Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the short answer, Christine, is yes. We have definitely found that. There's actually 2 things to think about. In follow-ups, we have our own drip campaigns. And Christine, let me ask you, are you sending your leads that you're capturing with us to your own CRM? And that's a different question than the AI, but let me speak to this because we have our own email drip campaigns. They get in the inbox and they close meetings. On the leads tab, which I can't show you because it messes up our video, we actually have our own AI text follow-up. And that text, we trained it ourselves. It's converting 14% of our leads, whether they're buyer leads or seller leads. Christine, I don't know how many leads, but how many leads do you think you have? And yes, people will opt out, but it's converting 14% of those leads to a phone call, and you can watch the conversation and you can jump in there and cut off the AI if you want. Just say, "Hey, let me help you." Yeah, Bull Trail, and they're going there. Okay. I think a question everybody should be asking themselves: does your CRM drip campaign create meetings for you? Do they create even a conversation for you? That's an important question for all of you to ask because frankly, I don't think they do. Okay. But you should seriously ask yourself that. And if the question is wobbly or no, it does not, or the answer is wobbly or no, it does not make phone calls for you, meaning it doesn't get people to say, "Hey, I'd like to speak with you." I would highly suggest you go to this follow-up page and you turn on this and this. Okay. And if you're marketing in Spanish, you can buyer and seller leads. Okay. Because I know from talking to our clients, we have a high open rate and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we're actually getting," "Oh yeah, Christine, so you're receiving leads right now from Facebook." That's good. That's the whole point of running our ads. And so if you're not using our AI text follow-up, and guys, this is really gets into conversion. How do you convert a lead, right? And if Christine is using our Facebook ad, she's getting name, email, and phone number, and she would probably be thinking, "I need to call those people." Let's go over here and let's talk about a sold ad. So, Christine, are you running ads to get listing leads? And if so, what are you marketing your ad on? Fastest and easiest way. Let me put a caveat: not the highest quality lead, because the highest quality leads are coming from expireds and open houses. But still, you can convert these leads. Not all of them, right? But this is an easy way to build that database, right? And you can also do this depending and under contract. the ads don't work as well. Oh, guys, let me ask you what you think. We got just a response from Christine, and she says, I found this platform more user-friendly and straightforward to use. Yeah, so Scott and I go back and forth trying to make this thing easier to use, but there's a double-edged sword. We want to offer as much value as we can for all of you, but that means you have to learn more. And that's a real hard path to navigate. But we're doing the best we can, and we're always making improvements, and I'm glad, Christine, that it's helping you. I think it's time to sneeze again. Give me a second. I got a sold property. Woo! Sorry. Sold properties. You should definitely market with us. Every week, I see some agent sharing something on social media that I sold this property. There's no call to action. What your call to action is, reach out to me. If you want to talk, reach out to me. And unfortunately, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, people are not really interested in talking to agents. They only do it when it's absolutely critical. So when you're working with us, we are helping you give valuable information to either homeowners or home buyers. And I'm sure most of us do a lot of research before we buy or sell a home. So I've got a home that's sold. So how can I get this to work for me? I click on Facebook and Instagram. And you say, my 2 ads running, LDR, are from listings. One for an open house. Cool. Yeah, you should definitely be, if you're running an open house ad, you should be running that ad on Monday or Tuesday, Christine. So this home is sold. And when I showed you our homepage and I said that this guy here got a $4 lead, he's in Conroe, Texas. He owns LPT office, got a bunch of agents working with him. And this is a training call that he did to show his agents how to do this, right? He just goes over here. And I asked him, I said, did you do anything? He said, no, I just clicked Facebook and Instagram. And just the way you guys wrote it, I clicked create ad, and bang, he gets a $4 seller lead that turns into $850,000 of production. Okay. Not every lead's going to do that. As Christine has mentioned, some of them opt out. They just clicked on it, but they're not really that serious, but some are. So run sold ads. That's the easiest way. These leads cost about $7, right? Divide 7 into 50. You'd expect 7 leads. Okay. With name, email, and phone number. If you want to get a little more fancy, click advanced options, click create form, and look at the questions that we have asked. And I'm going to speak a little bit to the quality of what's going on here. What's your time frame to sell? Maybe I'd just turn that off because I'm not interested. Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if the price was right? That's a good question. Would you like to see my 100-point marketing plan? That's our listing presentation, right? You could turn some on, but I like this one. What's the magic number for your home? I like that because they might have that in their brain, right? And I click create form, and those questions are going to pop up when they click on the app. So I want to click on this one more time because I want you guys to understand the power of our Facebook ad software. This is the preview. So people, when they click on it, they see something like this, but the questions are in front of them. And you see this form that says full email and phone number. That is auto-populated by the profile. Okay. They're not typing anything in. And this is critical because people who've been using Facebook kind of trust Facebook. And I want you to understand, while my button here says next, when a consumer clicks on it, it says yes. Up the top, it says, would you like this information? Submit my info. Okay. So they are literally looking at their contact information, which was auto pulled from their profile, and they're sending it to you. Okay. And then we give them some TCPA language and we say, okay, click here and give us your address. So let's walk through that a little bit because this is really important because this is the cheapest way of getting seller leads, right? Very fast. People may just go away once they've submitted their info. You've got their name, email, and phone number, but maybe they didn't click through because maybe they got here and just got bored. And they're like, okay, whatever, I'm out of here. But you don't have their address, but you have their phone number. What are you doing? Are you going to call them? Because if you call them, you know what they're going to say? I don't know what you're talking about. If you text them and you say, hey, I saw you saw my ad on Facebook and that you'd like your home value. We didn't get your address. Can you text me your address? Okay. And they say, yes, here you go. go over to your landing page, which I think is this landing page, and drop in their address because they sent it to you, and click get their value, and then drop in their email, and we will send them their email address. We'll send them their home value immediately. We'll copy you on it in an email, and then we will update them with their home value. Okay. So take advantage of that. And also, now that you have their address and their name, because you got their name in the lead, maybe you go over here to listings and you create a custom listing presentation, picture off the internet or pull it off of wherever, and you create a custom listing presentation. Okay. And that's manual. And we did this earlier, but just so we know, this is what you do. So at this point, I think that's it. I'm going to just say listing presentation. I have their, it's where here, I'm going to put their name in there because I got it from the Facebook ad. And I'm going to put their address because they texted it to me. You want to email them after you get their address and stuff, and you're looking at it and you got copied on the email. Text them and say, hey, you should have your home value now. And maybe you ask them a question. High, low, have you done any improvements? Normal conversion. Wait, maybe the same day or the next day, create a custom listing presentation. And which I showed you earlier, and say, hey, this is how I sell homes. And you send them this. So now you've gotten a low-cost seller lead from Facebook. You got their address in case they didn't give it to you because you had their phone number. And once you've sent something like this and you sent them their instant home value and they're getting it every month, that's probably time to call them and say, hey, sent you a couple things. I just wanted to gauge your interest, or what are you thinking of selling? Because now they have some very useful information in front of them. And to George's question earlier, do you have any email content? If you're getting seller leads, get into your PDF guides and send out flyers for sellers. There's 40 PDF guides. You can take an email and blast it out. There's even landing pages you can get out. So that's my story. Let me open it up for questions because we have 5 minutes, and let me repeat what we all hopefully know by now. The most important ways of getting seller leads is through expired marketing. Okay. You can order a booklet. You've got an electronic presentation available, and we've got live classes to help you do that. And you should have this link right here. I'm going to resend it to everybody right now. If you follow this page, there is also the link to order the booklets. If you're not on this, if you're watching this as a recording, this is on our blog at the bottom of our website. Okay. Number 2 is open house advertising. It's because of the Nearby Homeowner letter. It's because of our online video listing presentation. It's also because of our PDF guides and other tools. I'm sure you know how to work in open house, but I know that there's a lot of agents out there who they've been in the industry for a while. They don't want to hold open houses anymore. And I can appreciate that. If you're using our system, you're going to want to host open houses. Okay. Where do I get farming list people info to send my printed or email marketing? Yeah, Susanna, we do. Can I get it? Or do I need to ask title company? So title companies have that kind of information, but they don't usually have contact information. So let me show you this. That's a really good question, Susanna. Thanks for asking that. Let me finish wrapping up what I want to make sure everybody understands. Expired's number 1, open houses number 2, listing presentation number 3, and Facebook sold ads number 4. Now, Google is a great place to run ads with our PDF guides. You've got emails that you can use in your CRM. And so there are more ways. In 2026, we want you to be talking to people. And expired marketing and open house marketing is going to get you talking to people and talking to homeowners. Okay. So I would start there and then unpack the other cool ways of advertising with email, with ads, things like that. Great, right? Now, to Susanna's question about where can I get a list, My Plus Leads sells this kind of information. And everybody, let me ask, is this where I'm asking everybody on the call, is this where you get like a list of like your favorite farm market of just homeowners? Because normally, Susanna, I would tell you, find a list from everybody that's owned a home for more than 5 years in your market. Okay. And start with one farm market. Maybe it's a city if you're in a small city, but get that list of everybody who's owned a home for more than 5 years, because they're probably going to be the people who are going to sell a home, right? Now, this one here will get you the expired data and FSBO data, and they even give you the do not call information. Okay. So, you protect yourself that way. It does cost $7.70 a month, and you can get a 30-day free trial. But I want to tell you, if you use this link, okay, yeah, so Vulcan 7 sells this and Joe sells this. I know RedX and Remind.com sell this, and I know there's a company called Arch Agent. But I want everybody to understand it, and thank you, Jocelyn, for helping on that. You really want name, phone, email, and mailing address for all of these leads. And I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. Let me tell you the story of My Plus Leads and the link I just sent you. If you don't have this, when you sign up, if you just go to their website and ask them for a 30-day free trial, they'll give it to you. But if you tell them you're working with us and say, hey, I'm working on the expired program with listings to leads, they will give you 6 months back data. Otherwise, you only get 30 days back data. And that's too soon to call these people to get a real great response. Okay. Because they're still getting hammered by dozens of other agents. So if you wait 2 to 3 months before you reach out to an expired, and if they take your call, that's an opportune time to talk to them. And that's why people are door knocking and calling them and getting listings like these people right here. JJ had to wait, but maybe she will. But anyway, she's still killing it. But that's where you do it. And so let me show you why you want name, email, and phone number. And there is a big reason to go to ads, and blue button on top, it says create audience. Now, Susanna, I don't know where you are, but let's just say you're in Omaha, right? Whatever city you got, right? Wherever you are. And you go buy a list from any of these companies we just named of homeowners that own their homes for more than 5 years. And when you click that button, you can actually create a list that says Omaha homeowners. You type in the title yourself, but it has to have name, email, and phone number. And what that should look like, what the format of that spreadsheet is actually visible for some stupid reason. This page is not opening up. Oh, here it is. Create audience. Come on. Oh my God. I don't know why this happened, but you click that button and it gives you the format. You upload it, you import it into Facebook. It lives in your Facebook account and you can target those people through Facebook. That's a super smart thing to do. It has to be 1,000 leads long. So if you have a list of 500 leads, you got to add more names to it. Otherwise, it just won't work. Any other questions? Sorry, I can't get this button to work. I really got to get that fixed. Any other questions? If not, thank you for being here. This call is recorded. It will be on our YouTube channel. And get involved with what's going on here. We're getting results for clients, whether they're rookie agents or longtime experienced agents. You need to look at what we're up to here. It's working across the country, in the Caribbean and Canada. Thanks so much, everybody. If you need a team account, again, I'm at Vince at Listings to Leads. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of ways here. I'll send you my email to get agents productive, and that's the name of the game. Have a great week, everybody. You can email me if you need anything. We've got a fantastic support team as well down here at the left. We just got a review on Google talking about our support team. We really appreciate that. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.